Hi, this is Anna. I did a demonstration earlier on how to color a stamped image using Derwent Inktense color blocks, and I had a reader ask what I thought the difference was between using Stampin' Up! Reinkers and Derwent Inktense pencils was. Perhaps it was the paper I was using that was different from hers, or if it was actually the coloring medium itself. So I thought I would just do a demonstration since I have both the Stampin' Up! Reinkers and the coloring blocks. I'm going to be using this watercolor paper. It's by Fabriano. It is a 140-pound cold press paper. This is another paper that I really like to use. This is 100% cotton Fabriano paper, also 140-pound cold press. So basically I'll just show you what the difference is between the Stampin' Up! Reinkers and the Inktense pencils and the Inktense blocks when used on this particular paper. I like to go ahead and moisten the paper before I actually apply color to my stamped image, so I'll go ahead and do that now as well. So this is the Stampin' Up! This will be the ink block, and this will be the ink pencil. So I'll go ahead and use rose red. I have similar colors in all three coloring mediums to rose red. So first I'll just go ahead and apply some water to the paper, just enough to make it damp. And then apply the Stampin' Up! Reinker to that area for color. And you can see the reinker flows very nicely across the page. It's got nice good color and it looks quite nice. For the Inktense block, I'll go ahead and use color color number 500. It's chili red, and again just apply a little bit of color, or excuse me, apply a little bit of water to the paper, and this is color 500 here. So I'll just go ahead and pick up some of the color, and you can see how it also spreads across the colored area, or the dampened area. And then as for the pencil, again I'll just go ahead and dampen the area. And I like to actually pull color from the tips of the pencils rather than use them to color directly to the paper. And just like the colored blocks, the result is very similar. Now working on a dry paper, the results are a little bit different. Because the Stampin' Up! Color is actually a liquid color, it does tend to flow a little bit easier than the Inktense. So on a surface that has not been dampened, that's how the Stampin' Up! Reinker reacts. And on an area that has not been dampened, this is how the Inktense pencil reacts. And again, I'll pick up color off of the pencil. Like that. The one thing that I like that's different about the Stampin' Up! Reinkers and the Inktense, when the Inktense pigment dries completely, it can no longer be reactivated with water. So once it's dried, it's permanent. The Stampin' Up! Reinkers, on the other hand, while I like watercoloring with them and I truly enjoy the intensity and clarity of the color, they will always reactivate with water, even once they've dried. So if I want to go back over these colors with another color later, those colors are going to reactivate again. I'm going to get a lot of edges showing in my color, and then the color that I've laid down first is actually going to fade and diminish. So that's one thing I don't particularly care for about the Stampin' Up! Reinkers for watercoloring. The other thing that concerns me is that they do fade over time when exposed to light. And I know this because I have a sample of my color palette. When I use my reinkers for watercoloring, I use them in a sealable palette like this. It does seal, and it's a leak-proof palette, and I store it very flat so that the colors don't run into each other, because you can see that they remain liquid. So that I can remember which color is in which pan, I have a template of each of the color placements in my palette. And this has faded a great deal over time. So I know that the Stampin' Up! Reinkers, you know, while they're beautiful to work with, they have great color, and they work very nicely, they are going to fade. In fact, Amethyst is almost completely gone, Bashful Blue is almost completely gone, and same with Blush. The darker colors tend to maintain a little bit better, but the light colors definitely tend to fade out. Apricot, Banana, even Soft Suede has faded a great deal. So, and this just hangs in my my studio, so it's not like it's exposed to natural daylight, it's only exposed to artificial light. So, the other thing that I would recommend, just as something else to add to this video, is any color medium that you have available to you. I would recommend making a color palette of the available colors that you have. And so what I've done here with my Inktense blocks and pencils, I've just created a grid, and in each square I've just noted which color is which, and then made a sample of each of the items in the set. So these two lines here are my Inktense blocks, and the rest of the sheet are the Inktense pencils in the set that I have. And so this just gives me a quick visual, lets me know which colors I want to use, because they do look very different when they're on paper rather than in pan. And I've done that for other sets that I have as well. These are some other colored pencils that I have, and you can see the way that they have marbled and pulled. They're not the highest quality of pencil. But sometimes that's kind of the look that I'm going for, and so I do reach for those on occasion. And then here's another sheet that I have. These are some Create-A-Color colored pencils that I have, where I've colored direct to paper with the pencil and then bled the color out with the water brush, or where I've pulled the color directly from the pencil and added it to the paper. So there's a big difference there as well. But making a color chart of your supplies is just a really good idea of knowing what you have, and really helps you use the colors that you have to their fullest potential. So I don't know if this was helpful as far as a demonstration on Stampin' Up! Reinkers versus Inktense, but I don't know, I think I find it helpful to see what the coloring mediums do and how they react, and just exactly what they can and cannot do, so that you know what to expect when using them. And even if this demonstration of Stampin' Up! Reinkers versus Inktense wasn't up your alley, maybe the color chart was something that you found useful. So, thanks for watching my video, and we'll talk again soon.